From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was on the defensive about Canada's defense spending as he gave a speech ahead of the NATO Leaders Summit in Washington, D.C. His speech made note of the elephant in the room, the fact that allies are looking for assurances that his government will present a plan to meet the defense spending target it agreed to last year.
When we took office, Canada was spending less than 1% of its GDP on defense every year. But we vowed to change that right away, and we followed through.
Canada has long fallen short of the target agreed upon by NATO countries to spend at least the equivalent of 2% of their national gross domestic product on defense. Ontario's top doctor says 9 people in the province have become sick with listeriosis, and 5 have been hospitalized in an outbreak that triggered a national recall of certain plant-based milks.
While the cases reported so far are all in Ontario, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency is urging people across the country not to drink silk oat, almond, coconut, or almond and cashew milk, and Great Value almond milk with expiry dates up to and including October 4th, as they could be contaminated with Listeria bacteria. Brenda Molina Navidad, The Canadian Press.
Environment Canada's new groundbreaking rapid analysis of a mid-June heat wave in parts of Ontario, Quebec, and Atlantic Canada shows it was made 2 to 10 times more by human-caused climate change. Canada's new Rapid Extreme Weather Event Attribution Pilot Program is designed to determine whether and to what extent climate change made a specific heat event more likely. Scientists hope to apply the program to other weather extremes and to someday extend it to wildfire activity. Meanwhile, the remnants of Hurricane Beryl is going to push into southern Ontario tonight, possibly carrying torrential downpours that could cause flash flooding. An Environment Canada meteorologist says it's hard to predict the exact track of the storm, which is currently on a path to move through eastern Ontario and into Quebec. The storm will hit as southern Ontario is among a list of regions across the country dealing with soaring temperatures and high humidity. And the head of engineering at safety software business Checkpoint says there are a few things you can do to protect your data after Ticketmaster warned customers that their data may have been recently accessed by unauthorized parties.
First and foremost, they need to change all of their passwords. Anything, especially if they're one of those people that are using the same password repeatedly.
Robert Falzon also suggests people set up multi-factor authentication, which requires people to enter a code that's tested or emailed to them to log into accounts. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, underdog Canada gets a second crack at top-ranked Argentina in the Copa America semifinal tonight in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Seeking a record 16th title, Argentina beat Canada 2-0 in last month's tournament opener. Canada has not lost since reaching the semifinal by defeating Venezuela 4-3 in penalties on Friday. In the MLB, the Toronto Blue Jays open a 3-game interleague series with the Giants in San Francisco tonight. The Jays took 2 of 3 games from the Seattle Mariners over the weekend and are now 8.5 games back of the final American League wildcard spot. And Ottawa's Gabriela Dabrowski is the lone Canadian still swinging at Wimbledon. Dabrowski and partner Aaron Rutliff face Elena Gabriela Ruse and Marta Kustwick in the round of 16 in the women's doubles competition. Dabrowski and Rutliff, the reigning U.S. Open champions, are seated second at the All England Cup. From the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.